So Stephen A. and I are scratching our heads saying this can't be right. It doesn't make sense that President Trump said that America is going to have an ownership position in Gaza and do a great job with it, and maybe the people there won't be allowed to come back. Do you think that that is going to hold up as legit policy of the United States in that arena?
Well, Chris, it could. I know it makes some common sense to the president to sort of help these people out, get them out of Gaza, rebuild it, and so forth. But to go in there with U.S. troops, it depends on exactly what the rules of engagement are. What are the political conditions? And look, here's some of the things you have to think about. Okay, is Hamas going to be in charge? Do they want the U.S. troops in? Are Gazans going to leave or evacuate part of it? Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to give them food and so forth? If Hamas doesn't want us in, do we just take over the war then that the Israeli Defense Force gave up? What about the Palestinian Authority and Hamas? Is there going to be a war between the Palestinian Authority and Hamas? And if Hamas wants us in, are they going to come up out of the tunnels and say, welcome, we want you Americans to be with us? Are we going to, what happens when the first sniper kills an American soldier?
No, God forbid.
Have the rules of engagement, going to shoot back? Is it only in self-defense? Or if he sees the guy, about to shoot or identified as hostile, he takes action. What if he runs into a building? What if there's children in the building? Are we going to end up doing the same thing that the Israelis did? So there's so many details of this. But I will tell you this, Chris. The basic concept is a wonderful concept. If we could just bring peace to the region, if we could just rebuild Gaza, if the people would just stop wanting to kill each other, if we could somehow put American resources and know-how to work in the region. So, when this first happened on October 7th, my first idea was, and I went to some congressmen, I got into the White House with us, I said, look, let's have some refugee camps set up. Let's get all of the population out. Put some of them in Egypt, put some of them in the Negev desert. Let the UN take care of them out there. Let the IDF handle the holdouts in Gaza. If they want to live in a tunnel, let the Israeli army go get them out. But for the ordinary people, get them out of the way. But I guess we couldn't persuade the Egyptian president to take them, and the Israelis didn't want them, and Jordan doesn't want them. Why? Because there are terrorists among them, and they don't get along with each other. And, Egypt has its own terrorist problem. Jordan has a problem with the number of Palestinians living there already. So there's a problem with political stability. But I always was of the impression in this part of the world that money talks. If you could actually persuade the Palestinian people that you're going to come back home after it's rebuilt, you will come back home. No one's going to take your home away from you. You're going to have that home. Or if you could get the same area further down the beach in the Sinai, and maybe there's a way if you're willing to put enough money behind it. Is it $50 billion? Is it $100 billion? And then you have to get strategic consent politically from both sides. You have to have the right rules of engagement. You have to have everything lined up. It's very tough. But Chris, look, in 1994, we went into Haiti and we restored democracy there with Aristide. We negotiated an end to the war in Bosnia. And they said, oh my God, you're going to have a bunch of American troops killed. We never had a single American troop killed in Bosnia because we went in with strategic consent and the right rules of engagement. So it's not impossible, but it's not something you can just wave your hand and say, yeah, we're taking over, it's going to work. It may not work because you have to have strategic consent, resources, and all the accompaniment to make it work. That doesn't come out of a press conference.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.